Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video I will show you a free-to-play routine that I do that have accumulated me a lot of wealth and materials for character leveling up or weapon leveling up. So first I start with the daily check-in. The daily check-in provides you a lot of stuff like Mora, Primo Gems, and next I would go to the nearest crafting table so I can craft condensed resin. Since today is Monday, I'll be spending 90 resin on weekly bosses, so I would only want to make one condensed resin. Now you may be asking, what is the condensed resin for? Well, it's for raising a character's artifact. For example, right now I am currently raising Nahida, and I'm trying to go for her Deepwood sets, and I would do that every day, usually with 3 resin, but since it's Monday I will be only using 1. And next I will be teleporting to the Windrise Archon statue to collect the crystal flies, just so I could continue making condensed resin. Well, I would have the gadget where it turns the plants into seeds, so that'll be later used for my Serene Pot. We would be teleporting to Dawn Winery Archon statue, because over here they also have crystal flies. We would want to do at least 2 locations with crystal flies because one usually doesn't have enough to maintain your daily condensed resin making. After that, we would be doing our dailies. So, for obvious reasons of why we want to do our daily commissions, because they give Primo Gems and a ton of Mora. And if you complete all 4, you get a bonus, which is great, which would be giving you 60 Primos a day, and like around 50k Mora, I think. I don't know the math. And for this, expeditions are important because you would be gaining free stuff over time. And for my specific routine, I would want as much expeditions when collecting the rocks and minerals. And I'll explain that later. And if you have extras, just put it on any materials that you currently need that they offer. So, I would want the rocks and minerals because part of leveling up weapons, they take up mystical ores, and they usually take around like hundreds, and it'll be terrible if you don't have them right as you're trying to upgrade your mystical ores. So the ores you've taken from the expeditions, you create 5 per day and still have some left for weapon crafting or really anything. And what I've accumulated is 6,500 just from doing this only, nothing else. After that, we go to this Serene Pot. As you can see, I have a garden here, and that stuff in it because I have been collecting them with the seed dispenser, I believe is what it's called. And I've just been getting a ton of these just by exploring the world. And this is another important part, which is the quest rank. Realm currency is really important because each week you'll be granted the option to buy the talent level up books and a ton of Mora, which is a great bonus for every Monday or whatever day you decide to buy them. And they also have other stuff that you might want depending on your needs.
If you ever have...
Next up is weekly bosses. Weekly bosses are important because character skills require them, and for people who just started and don't really require these weekly bosses because the enemies in their current world are too weak, it's really important just to stack up for the future needs. And just a note, after you beat the boss, you can check the artifact, see if it's good or not. And for dream solvents, usually you shouldn't use them unless you have to. So, after you have finished your weekly bosses, next is to move on to the domain of your choice for whatever artifact you're farming for. Now that you have completed the domain, this is the time to look over the artifacts that you will raise or not raise. For me, the criteria for a possibly worthy artifact is at least 1 crit rating and having the possibility of another crit rating. No matter what the other substats or main stats it is, I would keep it if it has crit rate and crit damage, because you don't know if a future character would need those substats or main stats. As you can see here, it didn't go into crit damage, so I'm gonna unlock it. And the thing I like about this system is that now you have a level 5 artifact that can be sacrificed for an artifact that you actually would want to level up. A bonus to this would be that it helps also clear up your artifact inventory, so you wouldn't have to destroy them for Mora that isn't really worth much. After you've done that, next, if it's a Monday or you haven't completed it, next is the weekly bounties. These are important because of reputation. City reputation can give you a lot of things like treasure campuses or Oculus compass thingies. So, the obvious would be to accept all the quests and go for the highest bounty because they give you the most Mora and city reputation. Now that you've completed everything, this is the time to go to your battle pass and collect everything. Now that you're done, you can continue on with the event or whatever you're trying to finish. Thank you for watching, and if you like my random content, please sub, like, it helps me be happy. So yeah, see ya.